Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam all the devotees. Let's start our discussion on the Bhagavad Gita, 18th
Krishna
chapter.
Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So we'll start with our prayers to Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya, Sudarshan ji, Nitai Gaur Chandra ji, Parshuram ji, Vamandev ji. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. We are on the last chapter, that is 18th chapter, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Today we are going to see the 14th verse from Bhagavad Gita. We will recite the verse 3 times, then we will see the translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha pruthagvidam vividhasya pruthak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchanam. अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता कर्णं च पृथग्विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चनम्. अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता कर्णं च पृथग्विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्. Any devotee want to repeat?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can I try?
Yeah, yes, please.
Adhishtanam tata karta karanam cha prithak vidham vividascha prithak cheshtha devam jaiva vatra panchamam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll see the translation. The place of action, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. We'll see its purport in the Vedas. So, in this chapter is actually the summary chapter of all the Bhagavad Gita. Actually, Bhagavad Gita ends at 417 chapter, but the perfection, this chapter, it will be Lord is telling all the summary of Bhagavad Gita, whatever he told. So, in this second section of this chapter, Lord is telling the 5 factors of action, and because of what the action is performed by the living entity, that is given here. So, the 5 factors are: first is the Adhishtanam. The word Adhishtanam refers to the body, and the soul within the body is acting to bring about the result of activity and is therefore known as karta, the doer. So first factor who is performing the action, who is the cause of action, that is adhishtanam, which is the body. In the body, the second one is the karta, who is residing in the body, that is the soul. Soul is the doer, and that soul is knower and doer is stated in the Shruti. Eshahi drashta srashta. Prashna Upanishad 4.9. It is also confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra by the verses Nyutva 2.3.18 and Karta Shastra Tattvat 2.3.33. The instruments of action are the senses. The third one, that is, it is told Adhisthana tata karta karnam cha pratagvidam. Karna means the senses which are helping the doer to do the action. So the senses is the third factor. The instrument of action are the senses. So senses are the instruments which are performing the actions, which are action is performed by the um, doer, by the help of these five senses. And by the senses, the soul acts in various way. So soul is a doer, and who is residing in the body, which is adhisthana. For each and every action, there is a different endeavor. Then the fourth factor is the endeavor. Endeavor means the cheshta. Adhisthana tata karta karnam cha pratagvidam. Adhisthana karta karnam. And then fourth factor is vividasya pratak cheshta. Cheshta means the endeavors. Whatever the efforts, endeavors the living being is performing to do the action, that comes as the fourth factor of action. But all one's activities, yeah, for each and every action there is a different endeavor, but all one's activities depend on the will of the super soul, who is stated within the heart as friend. So the fifth factor is the Daiva, and that is the super soul. So here Lord wants to tell that those who think that yes, we are the doer. So Lord is clearly mentioning here that yes, you are not the doer. Who is the doer then? There are five doers. Means one is the doer, that is super soul within the heart, soul within this body, within the adhisthana. But there are five factors which affects our actions. Not only we as a desiring entity affects our action. So there are in total there are five factors which affects the actions of a living entity. So first is adhisthana, second is the doer karta, the soul which is residing in the adhisthana. Adhisthana is the body. Then third is the instrument of the action, that is senses. With the help of senses, the doer is doing the action. And then fourth factor is cheshta. Cheshta is the different kinds of endeavor. And the fifth is a daivam. And that daiva is daivam chaivatra panchamam. So that daiva is the super soul. So without sanctioning of the Lord. So every action is sanctioned by the Lord, and then only it is performed. So desiring entity, like so why I call it a desired entity, because we as a soul, we can't do the action completely unless it is sanctioned by the Lord. So how it is? So Lord has given the free will to every living entity, and as a living entity, as a soul, we have a nature of desiring different things. So we can desire that free will is given by Lord. Yes. And Lord, according to our desires and past life karma, He sanctions our actions. And then only we can perform the action. It is not that, yes, we desire and we can do. We desire so many things, but everything can't happen. So we can understand this verse, implement this verse in our life. Yes, whatever we desire, that not necessary every time it will happen, because it needs Lord's sanction, and Lord sanctions it based on our previous life karmas. So we have the free will to desire, but Lord is not sanctioning every desire, because He sanctions, He is there to help us. He is actually we should serve the Lord, but Lord as a super soul within our heart, He is servant, He is serving us. Whatever we desire, He is sanctioning that. So that is, he's serving us, right? So but it should not happen. And Lord is serving us means He is sanctioning our desires, but what desire we should do, that is in our hand. So we should desire wisely. So it is, Gaur Gopal Prabhu used to say that B and C, birth and B, C, D, birth and death, in between B and D there is a C, and that C is choice. So we have a choice, we have a free will to choose. So what to choose, that is depend on our knowledge and our intelligence. And when we use our free will wisely, with our habits, with our endeavors in the spiritual activities, in the spiritual principles, following the spiritual principles, then we can desire the pure desires we will have. Okay. You see what the Prabhupada is saying in that case. The Supreme Lord is the super cause. Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. These are five factors Lord is telling, but the Supreme Lord, the super soul who is residing in every living entity, he is the super cause. So unless and until Lord sanctions that desire, unless and until Lord sanctions, even though four things are working quite good, like body is good, the doer is good, uh, the chestas are good, we are doing different endeavors, then karnam, senses are good, but still Daivam is the main cause. The Supreme Lord is the super cause. Unless he sanctions, it will not happen. Under these circumstances, he who is acting in Krishna consciousness in Krishna consciousness is doing, that is under the supervision of the Lord. The direction of super soul situated within the heart is naturally not bound by enlightenment. The complete Krishna consciousness are not ultimately responsible for their actions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, your voice is breaking. I can't hear you properly.
Your voice is breaking, Prabhuji.
Hello, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, is it audible now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Now it is audible.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Am I audible now? Yes, okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, I was telling about the action in Krishna consciousness, and there are five factors for everyone's action. First is Adhisthana, then doer karta, then the karnam, senses, who is instrument in the action, um, then chesta, the endeavors performed by living entity, and daiva. So daiva is the super cause. The unless and until Lord sanctions the desires,
Hare
it will
Krishna
not.
Prabhuji, what is Adhisthana?
Adhisthana is the body.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Adhisthana is the body, and Karta is the doer who is soul. We are not this body, we are soul. We tell, na? We many times we heard that yes, we are not this body, we are spirit soul. So what is soul? Soul is the Karta. So he is the doer. But there are five factors for everyone's action. And that five factors means Lord is telling here that to Arjuna that you are not the only doer. There are four more. Yes, so unless and until all five combines, there will not be an action performed. So that is the conclusion of this verse, that only by the sanction of the Lord's, when the Lord is sanctioning all our desires, then only action will be performed. It will not only by desiring or only by endeavors. Many times we see that in case of like um, many times it happens, right? Just a minute. Many times it happen that many devotees or we try to do some activity, we try to do like some those who are preparing for government exams or something, UPSC exams, then they are putting their endeavors, but every time those who are putting best endeavors, they will not able to select. So endeavors is one of the factor, but other factors are also there. So all other factors combining, there is action. Not every time only doers or only what the endeavors will give the results. That Lord want to tell you. Okay, I'm sorry for unstable connection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad
Yes,
Pranam.
thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Prabhuji.
Mahabala Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Vijay.
Prabhuji, can you stop the recording? It was actually started on the cloud, but
Oh, I'm
as
sorry.
I left the meeting, I couldn't stop it. Okay, thank you very much, all the devotees. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Sorry
Krishna.
for the inconvenience in between you couldn't hear. Okay, we'll stop here then. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, is it not possible? Mahabala Prabhu? Kamala Mataji? Okay, we'll stop. Once the stop recording, we'll stop, I think.